Good afternoon, moms and dads. Welcome to Nido's Parenting Masterclass Toddler Expert Tips presented by Nido 3 Plus. Nido 3 Plus, protect your toddler's discovery with Nido 3 Plus. I am Leah Guerrera Santos, mom to a toddler named Darla who is bursting with energy and personality. And I'm hosting our talk from home today. Welcome, everyone. Hi to all our mommies and daddies who are tuned in to our Nido Masterclass right now. We hope you are all doing safe and are healthy in your homes. Our topic for today is one of my favorite things to discuss with other mommies, lalong-lalo na sa panahon natin ngayon. Marami sa atin are staying home to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. Pero alam kong marami rin sa atin are still worried about keeping our family healthy and free from the virus, especially, of course, our little ones. Kaya ako, sure na sure ako na makaka-relate tayong lahat dito. Ang very relevant at very hot topic natin today ay boosting your kids' health and nutrition in today's new reality. O, di ba, moms and dads? Tamang-tama bilang Nutrition Month ngayon at alam kong marami kayong questions about this. Kaya naman, I am so glad that we'll be joined by our speaker to enlighten us about the best practices and other important things to keep in mind para laging healthy ang mga anak natin. Siyempre, para sa ating mga primary caregivers, we want to ensure that the kids are getting the right nutrition, rest, and exercise they need. And it's our role to guide them every step of the way. So together with Miss Leslie Salunga, we'll be giving you tips on how to keep your kids always feeling fit kahit ngayong lagi tayong nasa bahay. We'll also be talking about their diet and other simple things we can do that will encourage a healthier lifestyle. So, let's welcome Miss Leslie Salunga. Hi, Leslie.
Hello. Thank you for having me today, and hello to all the viewers out there.
Yes, Leslie, tell us a bit more about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm a registered nutritionist dietitian. So as an R&D, I give diet counseling, make diet plans, and currently I'm focused on writing a research paper about the relationship of nutrition and students' performance in one particular school because I'm also a teacher.
Wow. Well, we're so happy that you're joining us today. And I'm sure our viewers have a lot of questions to ask about our kids' nutrition. Lalong-lalo na in the context na we're spending less time outdoors and food is often shared together with the family. Kaya para sa ating mga nanonood, you can ask me and Leslie your questions by leaving a message in the comment section. You can also share your own personal tips on boosting your kids' health para makita rin ng ating mga mommies and daddies who are watching. And please remember to include the hashtag Toddler Expert Tips. Ready na ba tayo, Leslie?
Yes, ready.
And before we officially start our discussion, I'd like to remind you that for more toddler expert tips, follow at Nido 3 Plus on Facebook. You can also search Toddler Expert Tips on YouTube for more videos from our experts on relevant topics, and subscribe to Nido's YouTube channel, Nestle Mom and Me Philippines. Okay, start na tayo. Leslie, let's first talk about our kids' nutrition in general. Gaano nga ba kaimportante ang nutrition ng ating toddlers aged 3 to 5 sa kanilang development?
Well, alam naman natin na good nutrition is important at every age. But since our focus right now are our toddlers age 3 to 5, it's important to note that this is a good age to start developing healthy lifestyle habits because this will definitely influence them for the rest of their lives. So, we want to start them young, especially since quality nutrition affects their physical and mental development. At lalong-lalo na ngayon, di ba, it would help them prevent and overcome illness. It's definitely one way we can keep them safe in this time of the pandemic.
Yes, I agree, Leslie. Alam mo, kailangan natin mag-focus ngayon into building our kids' immunity, and that even when we're at home, we can create still this environment that encourages a healthy body and a healthy mind. So,
Yes.
share ko lang sa amin, no? My daughter right now is in a phase where she likes superhero. So, parang mas nakaka-relate siya. Sinasabi niya, Mom, when I eat this food, di ba I can become strong like yung superhero na pinapanood niya. So, picking up on that, we try to speak in that language that she can relate to and understand. And it makes eating more exciting and more meaningful for her. And we also encourage her to keep moving kahit nasa bahay lang siya, whether it's some chores, yung nagwawalis siya. Ay, alam mo, na-enjoy pala niya yan. Binilhan ko siya ng maliit na
Diba?
walis. Or whether it's just catching the ball, kahit dito indoors, it's a good way for her to use up that energy and to exercise. So Leslie, for our mommies and daddies who are looking into teaching a healthy lifestyle to their kids, I'm sure marami sa kanilang nagtatanong how best to encourage their kids to follow. So maybe some of us have little picky eaters. Naku, pinagdaanan ko yan, alam mo. And yung mga iba naman, the kids like to eat a lot of sugary snacks. Paano nga kaya natin sila matuturuan ng bagong habits?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Leah, because this leads us to our first tip. Tip number one, create food experiences that are both healthy and positive. What do I mean by this? One way is to try to avoid battles over food and meals. Kasi alam naman natin that at around this age, our kids are starting to have strong opinions around food. And these opinions can also be constantly changing.
Ay, yes, relate na relate ako dyan and gets na gets yan ng mga mommies and daddies natin out there.
Sure. Yes, and if minsan they refuse to eat what we know would be good for them, actually, it's best to let it go muna and try again later on. Chances are, after a while, they start to warm up to the idea. And another way we can increase those chances is in how we create a positive experience around it. For example, involve your kids in the selection of foods and in the preparation of foods. Medyo messy nga lang, pero tignan natin yung benefits nito, di ba? Like for example then, before going to the grocery, you can ask some help na what to choose based on their nutritional value. For example, you can ask them, would you like a banana or an apple this week? Dapat close-ended yung question mo. Kasi pag open-ended yan, what would you want? Oh, so that, hindi niya sasabihin yung ayaw mong pakain sa kanya. Di ba? Trick number one. Okay. From there,
Parang multiple choice.
yes, dapat multiple
Ganun.
choice. Dapat may
Okay.
choices. At yung choices, make sure nutritious. So, alam mo na. Here, you can also start to explain how these foods can help their developing bodies.
Oh, I love it, Leslie. Alam mo, for us naman, we enjoy preparing food kasi with Darla eh. So, para may participation siya. So, tuwang-tuwa naman siya because we allow her to explore yung mga different types of textures. We let her play with food. Dati kasi, di ba, bawal maglaro with
Oo.
food. Ngayon, parang
Mm-mm.
go lang, explore.
Go
So,
lang.
may different colors, may textures. I learned it's a good teaching tool and opportunity for us kasi tinatanong ko, oh, what color is this? How does it feel? Oh, what's the smell? How does it look? Taste? Alam mo, triple bonus siya kasi nakakatulong na siya sa food prep. Naturuan ko pa siya and it gives her a positive experience about food. So,
True.
Leslie, let's check out what some of our mommies and daddies at home are asking. We have a few questions and tips in the comments.
Okay, game.
Game.
Let's
Okay,
see
ito
here.
na. Hi, Miss Leslie. Any advice, please, on picky eaters?
Okay, very good question. Sabi mo nga kanina, halos mommies ganyan yung problem nila. So, for
Oo.
our first question, how do we deal with picky eaters? Our first tip is the best solution. Actually, sa tingin ko lahat ng tips pakinggan nila and nakakatulong yan sa mga picky eaters. Okay, just to give them an idea kung ano ba dapat gawin. So first, we recommend nga, don't force a meal or snack. Prevent yung power
Mm.
struggle. 'Di ba? I remember you shared with us na you have to respect and listen to your child. 'Di ba? Baka naman hindi naman talaga siya gutom or busog naman talaga
Mm.
siya. So, in that way kasi, they will be more sensitive dun sa mga hunger and fullness cues nila. And yung hindi nila ma-associate yung mealtime with anxiety and frustration kapag fino-force mo yan. Ang importante dito is that nga, they want to assert independence. So we must empower them. It's all about self-awareness, not self-control. Kapag self-aware yung mga bata, they will be the ones to choose yung healthy. So, without yung
Mm-mm.
ikaw, kinokontrol mo sila, di ba? And yun nga, yung sasabi natin kanina, involve them in the selection and preparations of your meals. And
Mm-mm.
you must have a routine, remove the distractions, and if you want to add new foods, paano ka ba nag-add ng new foods kay Darla noon? Mga bata.
Actually, oo, parang we just give her options.
Mm-mm.
Tama ka, you don't force. May
Yes.
may face talaga siya totoo ba yan? Ikaw as a nutrition, face ba
Yeah.
talaga yung mga bata na naging picky
Yes,
eater sila?
true.
Kasi si Darla had that talaga. Oo.
Mm. Actually, oo, lahat. So, huwag kayong mag-worry na baka yung anak mo lang yung picky
Mm.
eater. This kasi madami. Face talaga yan. Kasi nga, they have strong
Ah,
opinions around food, yung panlasa nila naiiba, ganun. Tapos yung may
yeah.
psychology pa, they want to assert independence ka. They want to be the one to choose the food na kakainin nila at what time,
Mm-mm.
at gano'ng kadami. But, yun nga, since problem yun talaga, so we have to be patient and be creative kung paano mo introduce yung new food sa kanila.
Oo,
Remember,
kapit lang.
yes, yes, kapit
Patient.
lang. Yes, try until you succeed. I just want all of us to remember that this is a journey. It's not a one-time thing na kapag, ay, nagawa ko na siya, kumain na siya ng carrots, okay na yon. Actually, this is a journey hanggang sa pagtanda nila. And, syempre,
Oo,
you have to set an example also. You must also eat healthy. Ayun. So, yun ang mga
ayun.
tips natin to be
Binalik
a
sa
repeat
atin, mga
eater.
parents.
Syempre,
Oo.
involved tayo lahat dyan. Okay? So,
Oo.
lahat din
Pero
ng
tama.
members ng family.
Yes. Pero tama ba na yung taste, this is a question from me,
Yes.
no? Tama ba
Correct.
yung taste buds ng mga bata, iba sa panglasa natin? Ganun ba yun? Kasi siguro nagmamature, kumbaga sa atin, masarap to or dapat ito
Oo.
kinakain. Pero sa kanila, parang bang, ganun din ba yun? Or do they have different tastes at
When it
this
comes to taste
age?
buds, actually, I tried to read some articles about it kasi nga, ba't nga ba sila picky eater? Tapos pag tanda naman,
Yes.
willing naman silang kumain, di ba?
Yeah.
Well, pag as they develop kasi, yun nga, nagde-develop yung ibang mga taste buds nila. Tapos, siguro, kumbaga, it's more of naninibago lang din sila dun sa taste na bago.
Mm,
Ayun. And it's more of
yun.
also din yung stage na they want to assert independence also. Ayun.
Mm,
So,
kakain din at kakain yan, mga parents.
yes, kakain at
They
kakain din
will,
sila.
yeah,
Okay,
they will
let's
get through
try
the
and
phase.
yes, I see one question here. Very nice din siya. Miss Leah and Leslie, how do I make
Mm.
sure that my kids eat healthy? Okay, so
Ayan.
buti nandito tayo to discuss about that. How do you make sure that your kids eat healthy? Of course, if you prepare and offer healthy foods to them, sigurado they eat only yung mga healthy foods. And make healthy foods available and the foods to be limited unavailable. Siyempre kung wala
Mm.
namang chips dun sa bahay, walang fast food, walang chocolates, diba? Hindi sila magkikrave, hindi sila matitempt na kainin yon. And if you want to monitor naman yung intake nila, so since this monitoring yung intake is effort nga siya, di ba? Sabi natin, mahirap.
Yes.
So we have to have some help or guide to monitor yung intake ng mga bata. So my suggestion is that you use yung mga tool guides. So here are some of the tool guides that you can use. First, yung food pyramid, very popular yan. Tagal na
Mm.
nating alam
Yes.
yan, diba?
Oo.
Okay, so
Panahon
food,
pa natin.
yes, parang nung bata pa tayo, diba? Part ng subject na yan, no? Food pyramid. So very important yan. So for food pyramid nga, yung mga nasa bottom of the pyramid, those are the food na pwedeng madaming kainin. So yung mga beverages,
Mhm.
rice and grains, habang yung mga nasa tip naman, yung mga dapat i-limit, like yung salt, sugar, and fat. We also have, kung gusto mo naman, ng guide kung paano ba karami sa isang plate per meal, we have the Pinggang Pinoy. So, it's downloadable
Pinggan
brochure,
Pinoy.
di ba? Di ba? Nandun yung
Yes.
naka-portion yung gaano ba karami ng vegetables, ng protein, ng fruits, nakalagay doon. And may mga sample
Mm.
menus pa sila. And if you are checking on the Nido 3 Plus page, meron din silang very nice na downloadable and ganito pa na tool guide, toddler meal chart, yung name niya. So, you just have to shade yung mga circles that
Mhm.
you can do also with your kids. Pwede mong sabihin, oh, sige, shade natin. Kasi doon, nakalagay, per food group, kung ilan serving per day. So, nakalabel siya
Ayun.
Monday to Sunday, good for 1 week. So, may expect na ng bata na, ay, meron pa akong 3 servings of fruit for today. Ay, kulang pa ako ng isa
Yes.
serving ng milk. So,
Okay.
yun. Mga pwede natin gawin
Talagang
to make sure.
involve them. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay, we're
okay.
gonna move on with our discussion kasi we have a question here regarding our toddlers' immunities. Dahil marami sa atin might be worried about the likelihood of them acquiring illnesses. Siyempre ngayon, very unpredictable yung panahon natin, no? Gaano nga ba ka-vulnerable ang ating toddlers in acquiring illnesses?
Okay. Our kids don't fully develop their immune system until they're around 7 to 8 years old. And because the immune
Mm.
system is the one that helps fight against diseases and infections, our kids are more likely to develop yung common cold, diarrhea, and food allergies that are still unknown and new to their bodies. Likewise, dahil dito, they also need longer time to recover.
Ganun pala yun. Kaya pala laging sinasabi sa atin, it's important yung to form healthy habits from early on. So this reminds me of our second tip for today. Tip number 2, set aside a routine time and place to feed your kid.
Yes, agree ako dyan, Leah. Actually, while continuous snacking may lead to overeating, snacks that are planned at specific times during the day can still be part of a nutritious diet without spoiling a child's appetite at meal times. Siyempre, we
Mm.
have to make sure yung snacks na yun ay nutritious. So this can be anything from fruits, vegetables, grains, milk, or protein. And also, as part of your routine, I also encourage eating together as often as possible. So, do you eat together ba lagi with
Oh, of
Darla?
course. Oo.
Eh,
Pag mealtime talagang walang gadgets, you have to sit
yes.
together with the family. Yeah.
Yes, speaking of gadget, 'di ba? You can also set a no screen time during meals so that kids are more mindful. So when kids associate meal times to be fun, tsaka family bonding, their relaxed
Mm-mm.
mood helps them eat better. And also perhaps you can also set your certain boundaries and help them understand these boundaries.
Ayun. Leslie, you mentioned the risk of overeating on snacks. I'm sure some of our viewers can relate, no? And some might have questions about this. Ako, I'd like to ask, how do we know when it becomes too much? Ano nga ba yung risk if we let our kids overeat on snacks?
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up, Leah, kasi kapag yung kids, they don't have a well-balanced diet and then they consume high amounts of fat, sugar, and processed carbohydrates, they can be at risk of obesity. And obesity can lead to
Mm.
several health problems down the line. It's actually helpful to encourage them to eat slowly. Why? Kasi when a child eats slowly, they can detect hunger and fullness better. Yes. On the other end
Mm.
naman, 'di ba? We also have another form of malnutrition, which is undernutrition. It is another risk for kids who undereat and don't get enough nutrients naman. So talagang kailangan na babantayan yung kanilang eating habits so they don't develop problems later on.
Totoo. And we have to make sure that our kids drink their Nido 3 Plus.
Yes, of course, 'di ba mga moms and dads, Nido 3 Plus is also good for their diet and snack time because it's sucrose-free. So, meaning hindi siya super sweet so that our kids will not develop yung sweet tooth. Kumbaga, prefer lang nila mga matatamis na food. That may lead to obesity and even diabetes pagtanda nila.
So Leslie, this relates to our next tip on what we must incorporate into our kids' diets. But before we get to the third tip, let's see naman some of the questions from our viewers sa ating comment section. Baka may tips din sila. Okay, ito na. From Patrice Alonso. Hi Patrice, ngayong
Hi!
5 years old na po ang anak ko, biglang ayaw na niya ng milk na favorite niya noon. Ano po bang pwede kong gawin? Any alternatives?
Okay, thank you for your question, Patrice. So, yun nga, alam natin kasi important naman talaga din ang milk kahit na toddlers na sila ngayon. So, since
Yeah.
hindi na niya gusto, siguro you can ask, bakit? Bakit nga ba ayaw niya? Maybe you can serve milk in a different way. Pwedeng chilled o kaya flavored. You can add fruits,
Ah.
sa milk niya, and then prepare nyo with your kid, 'di ba? Pwede kayong mag-blend with the milk and yung mga fruits na pwede niyo i-add. How about you? Do you have
I,
ideas also about that?
I'm just amazed at what you
Uh,
said kasi you can be creative, but it's also important na alamin din natin bakit, ano nga ba, baka hindi lang niya feel ngayon, but it doesn't mean na ayaw na niya talaga. Baka timing, di ba? Or baka busog, di
Oo,
ba?
or
So,
minsan ayaw lang niya dun sa baso na ginagamit mo, alam mo yun, o kaya
actually,
mga ganong maliliit na bagay lang. Yung mga toddlers, di mo alam yung problema nila. Minsan, resibo lang, gusto niya, pinag-aagawan ng mga anak mo, di ba? Yung mga ganun bagay.
oo.
Oo. So,
Oh,
siguro, deep konti. Yan. Tapos, para alam mo, so
okay.
that you know what solution to apply. Okay. Yun.
Okay.
Next
Okay,
question.
another question?
Yan, from Mommy Francesca, Miss Leslie, my niece doesn't eat a lot, but she loves milk. So I've kept her on formula. So does she still get all the nutrients she need? O ito naman, kabaliktaran naman siya dun sa first
Oo nga.
situation natin, di ba? Okay. For milk intake, we recommend that our kids get 1 to 2 glasses of milk per day. And during this stage kasi, dapat they get all the nutrients mainly from solid food. And
Mhm.
so you can, ang kagandahan nito, kumbaga meron din pa rin siyang source of nutrients, di ba? Ang
Yes.
magiging concern lang din natin nito, how about the other nutrients na pwedeng wala sa milk formula natin? And
Mm.
also, we have to train their digestive system. We have to train ng pag-chew ng food. And yun nga, yung pagkain ng solid foods habang maaga pa lang. Kasi mahihirapan tayo later on kung later pa natin sila introduce sa solid foods. What you can do is, di ba, 2 glasses of milk per day yung allotment natin, di ba, for the day, is
Yes.
divide it equally and make sure that you serve yung milk with regular meals. For breakfast, meron siyang
Mm.
half cup ng milk, and then regular breakfast niya, and then snacks, mag-serve ka ng milk, pwede mong gawin mo siyang shake, and then lunch, another half cup na naman. Yun yung feeling na lagi din siyang nag-milk.
Ayun, ganun pala yun. Okay, we're gonna move on sa next question. You know, it's very challenging ngayon given the limited food resources. How do I make sure na they eat healthy pero hindi sila magsasawa?
Very nice question. Limited food resources and how to make sure that they eat healthy but di sila magsasawa. What I can
Tigil mo
recommend
muna.
is kung limited talaga yung kumbaga access natin dun sa food, is to make a variety naman din sa meal preparations. Okay, so for
Mm.
example, 'di ba? Fried ka today and tomorrow you'll boil it and next you broil it naman. So nasa meal preparations. And actually yung mismong pag portion sizing, yung pag-cut lang ng meat, cut lang ng vegetables, makes a difference also. Okay, so,
Yeah.
hindi lang food yung variety dapat, pati yung food preparations and pagse-serve, puwede din nating i-apply dun yung pagkakaroon ng variety para hindi magsawa yung mga bata. That is if
Let's
wala
do,
ka talagang access sa maraming food. Yeah.
oh, just make it more exciting for them. Kahit
Yes.
visually din, di ba? Okay, we're
Mm.
gonna move on to our third tip for today. Tip number 3, serve a variety of foods across all food groups. Leslie, you mentioned kanina some food groups that are important for kids.
Yes, and these are grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and protein. So let us discuss them one by one. Okay, so for grains, example will be whole grain bread, brown rice, pasta, or oats. Oats. They are rich in carbohydrates and that provides the energy for our physical activity. And for the vegetables naman, example will be carrots, broccoli, green leafy vegetables, which are very rich in fiber and vitamins and minerals, which is for proper growth and development ng body nila. Okay, for fruits, example, apples, banana, ano pa ba? Native fruits, yan, pwede din natin ibigay yan sa mga anak natin. So we recommend that you give them whole, fresh fruits and watch out for added sugars. And these are also rich in vitamins and minerals. How about proteins? So for proteins naman, very good example, mga eggs, lean meat such as chicken, pork, fish, beans, and legumes and nuts. So this is very important for muscle growth naman and healthy immune system. And like lastly naman, we have the milk group. Example would be cheese, yogurt, and milk, which you can serve plain or flavor. So these are good sources of protein and calcium. So, yung mga food groups na yan, we've given the example so that guided yung mga parents natin. And I want to also stress that it is very vital that we check the label and contents of the food we feed our kids, di ba? Para
Yes,
alam
yes.
natin exactly what they are taking ba and how just how much nutrients ba yung nakukuha nila dun sa food na yon. Of course, mag-ingat tayo dun sa mga allergens that can trigger our kids' allergies kung meron. Yan. And also, I want to share
Mm-hmm.
one key component that is important for young developing preschool children is calcium intake because calcium is needed to develop strong, healthy bones and teeth.
Yes, and you know what helps? Ang paboritong-paborito nilang Nido 3 Plus.
Yes, I'm sure na enjoy si Darla kapag umiinom ng Nido 3 Plus.
Ay, oo, it's always an enjoyable experience for her talaga. Alam niyo, nag-graduate na nga siya from the bottle to the cup and
Congratulations,
she's so
Darla.
proud of that. Talagang super proud. And we celebrated this. We made it so fun for her. In fact, yung kwento mo kanina, we actually
Yes.
let her add fruits to her milk para naman mag-create siya ng milkshake. So, di ba? Kasi
Mm.
nauso yung pagbenta ng fruits from Benguet. And kaya ang favorite niya ngayon is to mix her Nido 3 Plus with strawberries.
Naku,
Oh.
sarap niyan. Napaka-perfect for merienda.
Oh, and it's been one of those things for her na she really looks forward to in a day, yung mixing her own milk. Napaka proud niya when she does that. Mga linya niya, Mom, I can do it. I can do it on my own. Ayan, may ganyan siya.
Ang
And
cute.
oo, I think kasi, tama ka, ito talaga yung stage na nag-a-assert sila nung self-independence nila and they're trying to discover new things. Eh ako naman, as a mom, parang syempre, napipilit ako na mag-step back ng konti to allow her to do her own thing. So, I realized din, dahil nasa growing up age na nga yung mga toddlers natin, kailangan pala growing up milk din yung ibigay natin, katulad ng Nido 3 Plus. Eh, kasi alam naman natin na yung bata, nag-iiba din yung nutrient needs nila for each stage. So, yung nalaman ko is that growing up milks like Nido 3 Plus is expertly formulated pala with the right amount of nutrients. Depende na rin sa requirements talaga na kailangan ng toddlers natin at each stage of their development para naman makatulong sa mga key milestones nila, di ba?
Yes, very good, Leah and Darla. Dahil dyan, I want to mention our next tip, which is tip number 4, make time in the day for physical activity.
Oo, narinig niyo yan, mga mommies. Yes, kailangan maging part talaga ng daily routine natin yung exercise and other physical activities. Alam naman natin ngayon, it's not yet advisable to go outdoors. So, our kids might not be getting the same amount of activity that they used to.
And it's recommended that our kids get at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity per day.
60 minutes. O, pero pwede naman yun incremental, hindi at
Yes,
one
pwede
go.
naman. Basta moderate
Okay.
to vigorous.
And alam mo, Les, na-realize ko lang, no, now we're taking a lot of these steps to keep ourselves and our families protected. And dun yung boosting our immunity, washing our hands, staying at home. Pero dapat din pala, no, isama natin dun yung exercise as an important part of this.
Yes, kaya nga take note that in our tip number 4, we are recommended to make time. Kaya mga mommies and dad, let's make the time, di ba? I know na medyo this time, mas busy tayo because of yung housekeeping and work
Ay,
at the
oo.
same time, di ba? But you can consider
Mm-hmm.
this na quality bonding time na lang sa kanila na sobra naman ding beneficial. And you can set this either in the morning as the kids wake up or in the afternoon. Sa ganon, alam nila when it's time for exercise and they'll definitely be looking for it more.
Yes, and yan, may schedule, no? Reminder din talaga to sa ating mga moms and dads. No excuses na.
Correct. And it doesn't have to be strenuous. One good idea is to watch short exercise or dancing videos that you can follow together for a few minutes. Sa YouTube, maraming exercise videos na perfect for your kids when you search kids yoga or kids exercise. And also, if you can, it's also good to catch some sunlight in the morning. This doesn't just improve yung mood nila, but it gives them yung vitamin D, which is very important to protecting your kids from illnesses. Pag nasa loob ng bahay naman, you can also set up small activities that will really encourage them to participate. Like, for example, doing a treasure hunt around the home or playing animals by hopping, skipping, and crawling. And if ever naman you live somewhere where it's possible to jog or bike around while observing social distance, this can be a good afternoon activity as well.
Ay, good ideas yan, Leslie. Gusto ko yung treasure hunt activity, no?
Oo,
Hayaan ko
gawin
lang
nyo
siya. Maghanap
yan.
ka dyan. Pero ang
Correct.
dami talagang benefits, no, ng exercise.
Yes, and it can even be particularly therapeutic amid the uncertainty right now, di ba? And sports
Mhm.
and active games can provide an important balance kasi mentally and physically, which is very good for you and your children.
And narinig ko, Leslie, ha, exercise also helps the brain cope better with stress and anxiety. Tama ba yun?
You heard correctly, yeah. Kaya
Hmm.
kahit tayo who are the main source of strength and guidance sa mga kids natin, it's crucial for us to add physical activity to our day.
Oh, this reminds me of our last tip, Leslie. But before we get to it, we'd like to encourage everyone to keep sending in your questions. And baka may tips kayo, ha? I-type nyo lang yan sa
Yes,
comment section again. Please include the hashtag Toddler Expert Tips. Now, let's read some of them before we proceed to the last tip. Shall we,
yeah, sure,
Leslie?
sure, sure, game. Let's see.
Okay. From Mommy Nelly, my daughter po, until now, puro milk pa rin ang gusto niya unless ang food na makita niya ay salty. Lalo mga instant foods. I'm getting worried dahil baka hindi na niya nakukuha ang proper nutrients na kailangan ng katawan niya dahil ayaw niya kumain ng mas healthy na food. Ano po kaya ang alternative food ang pwede kong ibigay in exchange of salty food or snacks?
Okay, okay. So, thank you, Mommy Nell, for the question. So, the question is, ano ba yung alternative food na pwedeng ibigay? Kasi nga, nasanay siya sa salty. What I can
Mm-hmm.
recommend is try yung flavoring kasi siguro niya, sanay siya sa strong flavors. You can try adding spices. O kaya,
Ah.
yes, yung mga spices kasi, kumbaga, hindi sila high in sodium and salt, but they add flavor to your food. Be creative. And then maybe may ibang panlasa din siya na hindi kailangan ng salty. So, try introducing them new foods, new flavors. Malay mo, 'di ba? May makuha ka dun. "Ay, ito gusto niya 'to, mga ganitong flavor pero hindi siya high in salt." Ayun. So, yun yung pwede nating
Oh.
gawin para alternative dun sa mga salty foods. And siguro
So,
start
hanap
na
lang ng hanap.
hanap
Try
lang
at
ng hanap na
try, Mami Nel.
alternative. And
Okay.
start din natin siguro sanayin yung anak natin dun sa ibang flavors, yun nga. And sanayin natin sila na hindi salty yung kinakain nila. Eventually,
Okay.
masasanay din siya na hindi maaalat yung kinakain nila.
Oo. Alam mo,
Mm.
sanayan lang talaga. Konti-konti.
Mm-mm.
Baby steps, kumbaga. And
True.
Leslie, alam mo ba na over 1,800 na ang viewers natin? Hello sa
Hi!
inyong lahat!
Hi!
We are so
Ah,
happy.
yes.
Welcome to those also who just joined us. Again, yung topic natin for today is boosting your kids' health and nutrition in today's reality, presented by Nido 3 Plus. Again, i-comment nyo lang yung mga, ilagay nyo lang yung mga questions nyo. Kung may
Yes,
comments kayo,
share,
may mga tips
share.
din kayo. Share at share. Community tayo dito.
Yes.
So, hello to all our viewers. We hope you're
Ah,
okay and happy and healthy. At maraming salamat sa mga nagbibigay ng mga likes, hearts, care, mga wow. We love it, okay? We're sending back the love to you also. Okay, Leslie, meron pa tayong question this time from Mommy
yes, this
Aubrey.
is from Mommy Aubrey. So, okay lang ba kung i-bribe ko ang anak ko with sweets para lang kumain? Okay, nice
Ay,
question. Guilty din.
parang
Parang may
ganun din
guilty
ako.
dito. May guilty
Oo.
po dito. Okay.
Yes.
Sige, I recommend that we do not do that. kasi nga, di ba, yun yung nililimit mo sa kanila. And then, parang ang mangyayari no, na every time na kakain siya, they will expect na merong sweets or dessert after that. Sabi nga nila, don't make desserts then a bribe para lang kumain ng healthy yung anak natin. Pag yung dessert, gawin natin siyang part of the meal. And dessert usually dapat yung,
Okay.
I recommend yung dessert na isa-serve natin healthy, like yogurt, fresh fruits, yon. Yogurt parang sa milk din siya, di ba? It's part of the milk
Mm-mm.
group. Kaya healthy din siya. So, no, na gamitin natin yung sweets to bribe them eating healthy. Para kasi
Talaga.
siyang shortcut, di ba? Parang ang nangyayari is shortcut. Siguro for a short time, kakain nga siya. Pero yung titingnan natin dito, yung
Mm.
long-term effect, kasi nga dinedevelop natin is healthy lifestyle habits. Habit na
Okay.
yun yung gagawin niya lagi and for a lifetime ito. Hindi lang siya ngayon, hindi lang siya for now. Kaya take siguro long-term for this one.
Okay. Pero meron bang mga instances na baka pwede namang as a reward? Hindi naman every time, pero pwede naman siguro. Or
Mm,
ayaw talaga ng nutritionist natin.
ayoko talaga.
Strict si
Oo,
Leslie.
strict.
Tayong mga
But
mommies
ano
na
mo yun,
naghahanap pa tayo ng paraan.
pero siguro, you're thinking about kumari umiiyak siya or in pain or something like that, yun yung ano mo, reward mo sa kanya?
Siguro para lang, kunwari, if they did something good, pwede bang i-reward yung
Mm,
sweets or something, no?
oo. Well,
Na
no,
gusto niya, favorite food niya, ganun.
I think it's better not to use na lang yung sweets as bribe sa kahit ano pang situation siguro. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mami Audrey, maghanap tayo ng Mami Aubrey, maghahanap tayo ng
Alternative.
ibang bribe. Okay. Oy, tumaas na ang viewership natin from 1,800 dumagdag to 2,000 viewers. Hello mga moms, dads, and everyone watching. Welcome po sa inyong lahat. I-type niyo yung mga comments nyo and tips, your own tips na rin and questions. Okay, may isa pa tayong question for
Yes,
this
isa
segment.
pa.
How to introduce new food po sa anak ko.
Okay, okay. Challenge yan talaga to introduce new food kasi nga, 'di
Yeah.
ba, picky eaters nga sila. So yung mga suggestions natin earlier, let us just review them. So you can serve them together with the foods that they love or yung favorite nila. So pwede din na ano pa ba other ideas nito? Incorporate natin sila doon sa favorite nila na hindi nila napapansin. But yun nga, ang
Mm.
very important dito is encourage them or enlighten them that this is are foods that you must really eat. So ano pa bang pwede?
Alam mo,
Di,
like for us, Leslie, no, parang una, hindi ko pinapakain pa sa kanya.
mm,
Binibuild ko muna yung curiosity niya. Kunwari, ako yung kumakain. Or yung asawa ko. Sabay
I
kami.
see.
Parang siya, oh, I love
Masarap.
it. Mga ganyan. Oh, nag-spill kami ng konti. May konti kaming script na ang sarap-sarap. Yan. Para medyo ma-curious siya. Parang, what's
Yun.
that? Ano po yan, mama? Ayan.
Yan,
So,
perfect
doon,
yan.
medyo na-introduce yung new food sa kanya.
Yun,
Ayan.
maganda yun, i-explore niya. Or with them, together with them, pakita mo, ay, ito yung texture niya, ito yung amoy
Mm-mm.
niya, di ba, yung feel niya, crunchy siya, ganun. And then eventually, yung taste naman yung explore ninyo. So, those are ways to
Ayun.
introduce yung mga new food sa mga bata. Okay.
Alright. Ang dami talaga nating natututunan ngayon, di ba mga moms and dads? And again, to those who just joined us, welcome. Our topic for today is boosting your kids' health and nutrition in today's reality, presented by Nido 3 Plus. Again, you can send in your comments or questions in the comment section using our hashtag Toddler Expert Tips. Okay, Leslie, now we go to our last tip. You mentioned earlier it's crucial for us parents to also add physical activity in our day.
Yes, and hindi lang physical activity, mga mommies and daddies, because ika nga ng ating final and fifth tip, tip number 5, always seek to be a healthy role model.
Correct. Kids learn best through example. And you can observe that, di ba? Sadyain ba natin o hindi, whether we intend to or not, they really copy what we say, what we do, how we say it, di ba? Kaya we really should think of ourselves as their role models.
True. Of course, 'di ba? We have to practice what we preach so our kids see that what they're doing is right and it helps them understand more why it's good for them, 'di ba? So this includes also regular washing your hands, eating healthy and
Mhm.
staying active. And also very important that we manage our anxiety and stress well kasi alam mo napapansin yan ng mga anak natin kahit hindi ka nagsasalita, 'di ba?
Yes, oo.
Mm.
Malakas sila mag-pick up ng mga energy,
True, oo,
'di
gano'n sila
ba? Oo.
ka-sensitive sa'tin. So, I also want to note that if we want our kids to spend less time on the screen, then we should be able to do that as well.
Ayun, natamaan na naman ako. Again, they
Ako
copy
din.
what they 'di ba? They copy what we do. Oo.
Mm.
So oo naman, less screen time means more opportunities for us to really connect with our family. So, and alam mo nararanasan ko 'yan 'no, when I put away my laptop or my gadget and I give Darla, yung daughter ko, really
Mm.
one-on-one time, she really appreciates it.
True.
Tuwang-tuwa siya. Kahit mga simpleng bonding activity namin, ginagawa namin 'yan 'no. Paggising namin, we fix the bed, we set the table. Alam mo, it's a good learning opportunity for her din. Tapos sa gabi, we read together. Na-realize ko talaga, ang daming pwedeng gawin sa bahay. And with that, I have to say, we've given our top 5 tips on boosting your kids' health and nutrition for our masterclass session today.
Yes! So, should we run up the tips, Leah?
Oh, for sure. But before we do that, kayo mga mommies or dads, meron ba kayong other tips or questions when it comes to keeping your kids healthy and active? Well, don't forget to use our hashtag Toddler Expert Tips. Tignan natin sa ating comment section. May mga humahabol pa ba? Ay,
Yes,
meron. Okay.
madami.
Ito.
Magaganda
Okay,
sila.
daughter ko po, 3 years old na, hindi po siya kumakain ng kahit anong meat. Fruits and vegetables lang po ang hilig niya. Lagi ko po siyang pinapakain ng boiled egg para may protein intake po siya. Okay lang po ba yun?
Alright, so thank you for the question. Hindi siya kumakain ng meat. I think,
Mm-mm.
very important kasi that we offer variety dun sa kinakain ng mga anak natin. So, if you only offer them boiled egg as source of their protein, yung magiging problem lang dito or concern, may certain nutrients na hindi nila makukuha from egg na pwedeng makuha from other protein sources. And also, kung
Okay.
mapapansin niyo yung texture, madali lang kasing kainin si egg, di ba? And compared
Mm-mm.
sa meat. Kasi part of this developing healthy lifestyle is to train the kid on how yung digestive system nila, which is mouth is part of it, yung chewing nila, yung pagkain nila ng mga certain foods like yung meat na yon. So we have to train yung body nila in consuming
Mm-mm.
certain foods like yung lean meat. And they are also good, may certain nutrients na makuha lang natin sa lean meat na hindi makuha sa isang protein source lang. Kaya,
Okay.
the key here is dapat variety and introduce mo pa rin, mommy. Baka nga, ang concern nga, lang nga din yun is nahihirapan siyang mag-chew. So, choose yung mga lean, yung mga, or,
Okay.
serve yung mga finger foods. Di ba yung parang, yung nasa meal preparation, how you
Madaling,
serve it. Yeah, madaling
oo,
makain. Kasi yun yung struggle din ng mga
mag-grasp.
bata
Oo.
ngayon. Madaling mag-grasp, madaling maswallow, madaling ma-chew. Yun. It's,
Okay. So it really goes back to your tips earlier na let's find out bakit nga ba parang hindi nila
mm,
masyado gusto yung ibang
correct.
pagkain, and then
Mm,
let's see how we can conquer yung mga issues na yon. Oh.
correct.
Baby
Correct.
steps, mommies, and daddies,
Baby
kaya natin
step.
yan. Oo.
Next
Yes. Okay,
question.
we have another question.
Yeah, from Mommy Era. Yeah. Miss Leslie, my child na 4 years old na pag-iiwanan na yung timbang niya. Okay lang ba na bumawi siya sa gatas? Hindi kasi siya pa palakain ng madami. Okay. So si
Or
mommy medyo
palakain.
madami.
Oo.
O palakain ng madami. Madami yung concern
Oo.
ni number one, yung timbang when it
Wait.
comes to weight,
Oo.
'di ba? Tapos kung okay lang bang mag-milk para makabawi kasi
Oo.
hindi din malakas kumain yung anak natin. Now you see the reason bakit hindi gano'n ka yung weight ng bata natin is napag-iiwanan. But let's also check what do you mean by napag-iiwanan kasi when it comes to weight, we have standards. Yes, we can download the table so we can see kung normal ba or underweight o overweight yung anak natin. But these are standards. So, at check din natin other factors. Kung
Mm-mm.
titignan mo, yung growth rate nila, yung trend, nag-i-increase naman yung
Mm-mm.
timbang nila. Or maybe,
Mm-mm.
akala mo na pag-iiwanan yung timbang niya, pero matangkad pala siya. Pero mukha lang siyang thin. Pero
Yes, oo.
diba, in terms of height, mas matangkad siya dun sa kaedaran niya. Mga ganung
Mm-mm.
factors. So, you have to check also. So, I also recommend na you consult with a pediatrician to see other factors. Kung talagang yung timbang ng bata, baka may other factors like, di ba, chinecheck lahat ng mga doctors, other
Yes.
clinical signs, kung alert naman siya, if he's eating well naman, and he's sleeping well naman, then he's growing well. But with mommy
Mm.
Era, concerned din naman na alam niya na hindi kasi pala kainin yung ng madami si toddler niya. And she wants to try milk. So, discuss
Mm-hmm.
natin kanina, ang recommended for milk is 1 to 2 glasses. And ang main purpose natin, objective natin, is makuha niya yung nutrients from the solid food. Yes. So,
Mm-mm.
when we
Yes.
say hindi siya palakain, maybe tignan natin ngayon kung meron ba siyang hindi food groups na hindi kinakain or baka hindi naman siya gutom kapag pinapakain natin. Kaya very important that we set a routine. So, babalik tayo dun sa ibang tips natin, di ba?
Ah.
Kapag may routine yung bata, mas mamomonitor mo kung madami ba o hindi yung kinakain niya. And offer them yung mga variety of food. And maybe hindi naman kayo kumakain sabay-sabay. Kasi mas, di ba, mas
Mhm.
ginaganahan yung anak natin kapag sabay-sabay kumakain. And another,
Mm, mm.
ulitin ko na, pag in-involve mo siya in the preparation, selection of food, baka mas gaganahan siya kumain doon. Mas
Mm,
dadami kakain.
mm. Oh, parang let's just make it exciting and interesting. Baka lang kasi nasa age na yung anak ni mommy na 4 years old eh. So mas nag-e-explore na 'yan, 'di ba? Mas nagiging curious. So baka
Yeah.
yun yung pwede nating gawin. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Is it okay to hide veggies in my kids' meals? Nako, gawain din yan ng maraming moms, dads, pati mga lolo, lola. Tingin mo,
Yeah.
Les,
So,
pwede ba magtago ng surprise vegetables?
it is okay. It's okay. Definitely okay to hide veggies in your kids' meal. Kasi that is one way of ensuring na they eat yung vegetables na kailangan nila para makuha naman nila yung vitamins and minerals that they can get from vegetables. Yun. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. But I want to remind everyone of our objective. Ang objective natin is to promote healthy lifestyle habits. So, while doing that, kasi nga, nasa stage pa na tayo, tinatry natin. So, hindi pa talaga sila kumakain, di ba? Pero try pa rin natin introduce sa kanila ang importance ng vegetables, eating vegetables sa diet nila. Para darating yung time, aware na sila, okay na yung eating habits nila, kahit hindi na tayo nag-o-offer, hindi na tayo nagpe-prepare
Mhm.
ng meals nila. Sabi nga nila, minsan lang maging bata yan. Kapag pagtanda nila, sila na yung pipili ng kakainin nila since aware sila na vegetables are good for them and it tastes good. So, sila mismo pipili at kakain ng vegetables to make them less vulnerable and less at risk of having illnesses pagtanda nila.
Okay, ang gaganda ng mga questions and tips ng audience natin. Thank you. And thank you rin, Leslie, no? Kahit ako, ang dami kong natututunan. Maraming salamat sa ating moms and dads. Sige, I think it's now time that we summarize our 5 tips, Leslie. Tip number 1, create food experiences that are both healthy and positive. As much as possible, let's involve the kids in the selection of food and treat it as a learning experience for them. We can also avoid fights or quarrels during mealtime so they don't associate negative experiences with food.
Tip number 2, set aside a routine time and place to feed your kid. Relaxed kids eat better and routine helps kids relax. Consider meals a good bonding time with the family.
Tip number 3, serve a variety of foods across all food groups. Make sure that kids get enough nutrients from a variety of foods. Provide healthy snacking options and limit the intake of sugar and fat.
And tip number 4, make time in the day for physical activity. Add physical activity to your daily routine and consider making it fun for everyone in the family.
And tip number 5, always seek to be a healthy role model. Kids look up to us a lot. So we have to make sure that we practice what we preach. This includes eating healthy, doing daily exercises, washing your hands, and spending less time on the screens.
Yes, I think we did a great job today, Leah.
Oh, I think so too. Kasama na rin ang mga moms and dads natin who are watching. And tingnan natin kung may final round of questions pa tayo or comments. We're gonna
Let's
check kung may mga
see.
concerns pa ang ating mga viewers that they'd like to discuss right now. Okay. Meron pa ba? Again, we'd like to say hello to all of those who are watching. Ang dami na.
Hi.
We are so glad na nandito tayo sharing, exchanging mga ideas and tips. And thank you for all the likes, the loves, the cares, even the wows. Okay, from Sanay Ali, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Should junk food be lessened or totally removed from snack time?
Nice question. Okay, junk food like yung chips, and that also includes yung fast food, no? Okay, these foods
Mm-mm.
are belong to to limit foods, kaya dapat konti lang yung kinakain nila. If you can totally remove, then that is much better. But let us be realistic, di ba? There are certain occasions na
Mm-mm.
hindi mo talaga maiiwasan na magsaserve ng chips. And so, di ba sa mga Christmas parties,
Mga
birthday
party!
parties, di
Oo.
ba?
Pag
Yung
bumisita kay Ninong at Ninang, binibigyan ng mga goodies.
yun yung treats nila. Yun. So, mga
Yeah.
certain situations like that, well, okay lang pakainin natin sila. Just make sure na hindi frequent, tapos wag madami. Why? Kasi
Mm.
these foods are very high in fat and very high in
Mm-mm.
salt, di ba? And remember, our food pyramid nasa taas yan. We have to limit those. And kapag they consume a lot of it, they are at risk of obesity. So, remember then, ang recommended lang na salt intake in one day is just 2 grams per day, which is less than a teaspoon of
2
salt.
grams.
'Di ba? So,
Okay.
very important na we check the label for the sodium content of the food that we give to our children. Ayun.
Mm. So, pwede naman very little para hindi naman tayo
Oo.
kontrabida. But
Yes.
yeah, we have to check out the sodium intake because yung ibang pagkain naman na hindi junk food, meron na rin sodium yan eh, di ba? May
Yes.
minimix na rin dyan.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Another
Yes.
question, does my child need fruit juice?
Okay. Need actually if it's more of a good option for them to have the
Mm-hmm.
serving of fruits that they need. So, kapag fruit juice dapat 100% juice yan without the added sugars. 'Di ba? So,
Okay.
limit yung juices na loaded with sugar kasi nga they can be at
Mm-mm.
risk of obesity pag yung consumption nila is sugar is madami. So, in terms of fruits, we recommend fresh fruits lang. And in terms of beverage naman, water. Kasi water, no added sugar and no calorie.
Ayan. And so to our viewers, thank you so much for your questions and comments. We hope you learned something valuable from our session today with Miss Leslie. And sana nakatulong ang aming mga tips that we were able to provide you with and yung mga guidelines natin when it comes to our kids' health. And sobrang na-appreciate ko talaga na we're given a space to talk here, no? About these things, diba? It makes us feel less anxious kasi we know that we're not going through this alone. And we may be facing a lot of new challenges every day, pero buti na lang may Nido 3 Plus Toddler Expert Tips Masterclass to help us navigate through this together. Now, before we finish our session, I'd like to encourage everyone to learn more toddler expert tips by following at Nido 3 Plus on Facebook. You can also search Toddler Expert Tips on YouTube for more videos from our experts on relevant topics and subscribe to Nido's YouTube channel, Nestle Mom and Me Philippines. And thank you so much for being with us today, Leslie. Alam kong marami kang natulungan na parents like me who are looking after our toddlers at home.
Thank you also and glad to be of help, Leah.
All right, thank you everyone. Once again, I'm Leah Guerrero Santos. See you in our next Toddler Expert Tips presented by Nido 3 Plus. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.